Hello? Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Am I speaking to Sham?
Yes?
Hey Sham. This is Kavita. I'm calling from Brilio.
Yeah, hi. Good evening.
Hi. Good evening. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good. How about you?
Good. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, Sham, this is a probably quick call just to know about your technical skills and
Yeah.
some introduction on yourself and all that. So
Sure.
yeah, you can start off with your introduction, Sham.
Yeah, sure. This is Sam, and currently I'm working with Vitas Capital Market Services, which is located in Bangalore, Electronic City, Phase 2. And so I have totally 3.6 years of IT experience in MSBA and SQL development, supporting enhancement, all those stuff. And earlier I worked with Metrica Systems as a MSBA developer in Bangalore itself. And currently I'm dealing with
Okay.
PNB Paribas clients, so it's completely related to hedge fund services. And coming to my roles and responsibilities, so I have very good experience in writing the SQL queries based upon the scenarios. And also I have written so many store procedures, functions, figures, servers, so many things. And also I have created some of the SSIS packages to load the data from source to destination, and I have used some of the ETL transformations to manipulate the data as well. And also worked on
Okay.
event handlers, logins, and package configuration, deployment, all those things. And also I worked on SSRS reports. So based upon the client requirements, so I have developed some of the reports like drill round, drill through reports, sub reports, and matrix reports, and linked reports, all those stuff. And also involved in the .NET team, so to build the application. So basically whatever they require, so we used to give the queries to build the application as well. I think, yeah, that's all about
So
myself.
your primary skills are SQL and
Yes, okay, yes,
SSIS
yes,
and
yes, exactly.
okay. So okay, you said .NET. So have you written any C# code in the
See, .NET in the sense, so I used to work with them, okay, but as a database developer, I used to give the store poses and the packages to build the application, okay, but I don't have
Okay.
much experience in writing the .NET C#.
Okay. But have you used script task in
Yes,
SSIS?
yeah. That is for sure. So if anything comes, so definitely we'll explain the scenario to the .NET team. So whatever they had given, that particular thing, so we used to use it in the script task.
Okay. Do you have any basic knowledge and you can understand the C# code and
Yeah, I can
you
understood,
can
but I can understood small things I can able to write it. So
okay.
yeah.
No problem. Okay. Good. Any other technologies you know other than MSBI? The
And
reporting tool?
reporting tool and all, I'm thinking to learn actually. So I have attended for Power BI Power BI trainings actually, which are given by Microsoft. So recently they have conducted a data platform in near Bangalore itself. So I have attended for Azure and Power BI tool, and also some of the Redgate tools, all those stuff as well. So I have basic knowledge,
Okay.
but I am ready to work on multiple technologies as well.
All right. That's good. Okay. So, how do you rate yourself on SQL out
Uh,
of 10?
I can rate
1
8.
being okay. On SSIS?
SSIS also 8.
Okay. Have you worked on SSAS, analysis services?
Actually, I didn't get a chance to work on that actually. So there is a separate team to
Okay.
build the SSIS cube, so those things and all. But here, so I didn't get a chance. So if I get, definitely I'll work on that.
You have any theoretical knowledge on what are cubes and do you know, are you
Yeah,
knowledgeable on SSAS?
Yeah, I have knowledge, so I can able to create it, but not in a deep way. So I know named queries, KPIs, so those things and all I know how to deploy, how to process the cubes, and what are dimensions and factors and these things. Normally, theoretically, I know I have knowledge,
Okay.
but experience I don't have.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So, what was your last project and what was your role in your last project?
Yeah. So it is basically a fund accounting system. So it is a capital market service company, and we are working for multiple clients. So actually, I mentioned only BNP Paribas, but we used to give the support and service to the multiple clients. I can say there are 50 plus clients are there. Line point, 5.5, 4 research, something like that. And basically, so we will get some trading files, so trading, corporate action, and pricing, those things and all. So we used to load those files by using our ETLs and put it into the tables. And my role is to create the packages and writing this store process, most probably. So if any scenario, so if we want to create this SSRS report, so then we'll work on that. So very less on SSRS thing. So most of the time, so creating packages and writing the SQL store process.
Okay. Okay. Have you worked on any performance optimization in SQL or
In SQL,
SSIS?
right? SQL, I
Yeah.
used to.
How do you do, I mean, how do you, when suppose given a scenario where there's a very big table which is feeding the data to a report and report is very slow. Okay, how do you handle that situation and how do you, go ahead and start tuning it?
See, normally, basically, as a developer, so we need to check some basic things. So, like indexes, so whether the proper indexes has been created or not. So, and also whether if there are some indexes, even though, but they might not use those particular columns in a where class. So we need to create an index on the columns wherever we are using in a where class. And also, like if there is any loopings and all, so definitely we need to replace with joins and all. So these are the basic basically. So apart from these, so we need to see the execution plan. So in the execution plan, we will come to know. So what is the cost of that query basically? So what is the input output cost, actual execution, affected rows, those things and all we need to know. And also in the back end, if you know about like weight types and those things and all, so we'll come to know why it is basically taken, whether it is whether that particular query is in a queue or whether that particular query is expecting some memory. Those things and all we need to know so that so that we can able to improve the performance accordingly.
So suppose the table that you are using to get the data into the report is very huge, like 100 million records. Okay. Okay, there are all indexes and everything created properly, but still report is slow. So what may be the other reason, or what can you do further? So that report may not get all the data. Probably the report runs monthly report. Suppose it's just a monthly report or a weekly report. Not the report is not that big, or it doesn't require the complete data. What do you do in that case?
So you mean to say that if there are some 1 million records are there, so we need to fit few rows into that particular report, or how it is?
Yeah, that table is very huge.
Okay.
It has like millions of records.
Okay.
But the report may not require all the records.
Okay.
But still you have to use the same table.
Okay.
So, I mean, how do you make the report run faster with all this being in place?
Okay.
Indexes or all.
So if all the things are there, so definitely we need to put so instead of the parameters and filters and all, so we need to put a where class in our query, and on top of that we need to create a column store indexes. So definitely we need to do some filtering, right? So on top of that we need to put a column store index. So it will be there. It is there in 2012, so that it will be somewhat faster. So instead of creating normal indexes.
Okay, so the column store index is also there, but still it is slow. Then,
So it might
is there
be.
anything else that you
See, it's basically if I can able to see that particular query, na, so I can able to tell the exact answer actually, because so if you say like
no, it's not a big query. It's just that the data is huge in the table. The query is not complicated. It's just to select column names from the table, where condition wherever you give. Okay. It's not that complicated.
Okay.
So
Just
yeah,
use a select statement.
With the table, you can do, with the table you can do anything that could help better. Other than indexing.
I think we can shrink it.
Sorry?
So what we can do is, so we have so I can able to tell in a upgraded version. So we have inline memory option. So what we can do is we can shrink that particular data into in 2016 basically inline memory option is there. So it will shrink the data and it will convert into a machine language so that it will be used faster actually.
Okay.
So
have you tried that any?
I didn't try it, but I know how to do it actually.
Okay. There's another option that you can do. What I was thinking of was partitioning the table.
Okay.
Right? Because, the report would take only, telling you the report would probably need a weekly data or a monthly data. So that's one thing. That's all right.
Yeah.
Fine.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you were saying the inline memory, right?
Yeah,
so do you know what are the natively compiled procedures and the in-memory tables in SQL 2016?
I know actually. I have attended for trainings actually. I know a few things actually. How inline memory will perform and what are the temporal tables. Those things I know, but I didn't use till now because recently only I have attended.
Natively compiled procedures?
No, I didn't attend that for that particular session. There are almost like 250 sessions are going on. So whatever I require, I have attended actually.
Okay, this is actually a new feature in 2015 SQL.
Yeah.
So yeah. Okay. Okay, that's one thing. And then, do you know what are dynamic management views?
Yes. So basically, while doing a performance, basically, so we need to know the things. So what is happening exactly in the backend and all. So by using the dynamic management view, so we can able to know it. So like Microsoft people will build the SQL and all, right? So most probably those people will use these dynamic management views to improve the performance. I can say to upgrade these versions, all those stuff.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Have you okay, how have you used the SSIS? You were using SSIS to run the SPs and most of your logic was in stored procs, or you were using SSIS itself to build the logic?
Yeah. I'll tell you basically. So we have application actually. So once the file is there, so automatically SSIS package will run. So in SSIS package, basically staging will be there. So complete whatever they have given, the complete dump will be there in the staging. And after, so in the staging, we'll do only two things. So whether any codes are there, whether any trims some spaces are there, we'll trim it. That's it. Apart from that, nothing is there. From staging to transactional table, so we'll put some conditions like comparing whether already is there any records are there or no matched output and any null validations. All those validations we'll take it over there. So apart from that, once the data is there in the transaction table, so queries, everything will put it in a SQL, and that particular store procedure will give it to the .NET team. So they will take care of that.
Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Have you used merge statement in SQL?
Yes, I use it.
Okay. What did you use it for? Why did you use it for?
Yeah. So do you want me to explain a scenario?
Not a scenario, just an overview, like what it is, like what it does.
Yeah, basically it will do two DML operations at a time. So like insert, update, delete, update, insert, something like that. So for that, so we need to give a key over there. So if you perform a merge between two tables, so it will compare basically matched and unmatched thing. So if it is a match, so we can able to, let's say, is there any address is updated, something like that. So we can update that particular column. And if it is not matched, so we can insert. It is a new record.
So what are the clauses that are used there? When matched, when not matched, and any other thing you have? The two, this clauses or more than two clauses, if you remember?
So when matched and when not matched, so we can delete it, we can insert it, we can update it. I used only two
There's
things.
another thing called when matched by source. Right?
When not
matched by source?
By source, then we can delete it.
Okay, and suppose there is a query where I'm using a merge statement, to do the incremental load.
Okay.
And I want to know, after the merge happens, I want to know how many records were inserted and how many were updated. How can I know that?
Yes, by using $action property, we can able to put it into some other tables by using the magic table, inserted and deleted.
Okay, all right. So, and suppose there's a table with a lot of duplicate records and you want to maintain only the first entered records in it. You want to remove all other duplicates. How would you do it?
So in SSIS or SQL? So SQL we can...
SQL.
The most of the developers will use CT actually. So that is the best way to use actually. So also we can able to perform some other ways, having group by. So by that also we can able to perform. So in the CT we can put a row number by the partition class, and wherever the ones are there, apart from that we'll delete everything.
Okay. Okay. Then what else? Okay. Do you know what is covering index?
Covering index. I think we can able to create on multiple columns.
Okay.
And basically,
all right.
Yeah.
Have you created any indexes by yourself, Shyam?
Yeah.
Okay. So, when you create indexes, there are different options that you can set on that, right? There is something called fill factor.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you know what fill factor is?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Do you want me to explain?
What do you...
Yeah.
what does it do?
So basically, let's say there is an index. I have inserted some rows like 1, 5, 7 something. Okay, today. So let's say the fill factor is 100. Okay. And tomorrow I'm going to insert in between the rows, let's say 2, 3 and 4, 6, 7, something like that. Okay. So in this case, what will happen means if the fill factor is 100%, so that page is already filled with 157. So the next 2, 3, these things will be getting to the next page actually. But it should not be the case in the index, right? So it should sort the data basically. So what we can do is, so we can put the fill factor as a 80%, and so 20% we have to put it as a space only. So in that case, what will happen means, so whatever the in between rows we have inserted in the next other day, so those rows will be inserted into the first page itself.
Okay, first page in between the rows or after those rows?
So in between the rows basically, it will sort the data, right, normally. So whenever you create a cluster index, it will sort the data.
Okay, all right. What are the different types of functions that you have worked on?
User-defined functions you are asking are string functions, aggregate, something like that. Normal functions?
The functions, normal functions that you create?
Okay, scalar functions. Okay, scalar functions and multi-valued functions, right? I usually use scalar functions only, not multi-valued, but I know what needs to be done in multi-valued.
How different is it from table-valued functions?
Table valued basically, so we need to store the data in a table variable, and so the entire result set will get it from that particular function. So scalar value means it should return a value in the output. It might be integer, it might be a varchar.
Okay. So function can return a table, right?
Yes.
Okay. So is this possible in stored proc? Can you return a table from a stored proc?
Yes.
How do you do it from a stored?
Yeah, there is a data type. So table variable data type is there. So if you use that, so we can able to get it.
Okay. Okay. Do you know what is role playing dimension?
So it's basically data concept, right?
Yeah.
I know what is dimension, these things, factless, fact table, fact table. Apart from that, I don't have much idea actually.
Okay, not a problem. Have you written any dynamic codes
Yes,
in SQL?
yeah, dynamic SQL I have.
Okay, how do you write? I mean, just you know.
Can I
you can just
explain
tell me how
it
you.
with an example?
Sure.
Yeah. So dynamic
Yep.
SQL is nothing but, so it will basically every time it will compile actually. It will compile the object, so based upon that it will create the execution plan. Let's say there are two developers, and every time I'm writing I'm reading my table, select star from my employee table, and some other developer is reading department table. So in those two queries, select star from is always same actually. Only the dynamically changing is the table name. So what we can do is I can declare a variable and I can make it as a varchar of 6 at the rate of SQL, declare at the rate of SQL varchar of max and set at the rate of SQL equal to. So that particular select star from is always same. There won't be any change at all. So we'll make it in a single quote plus. So whatever the table name they are passing, so I can able to declare a variable at the rate of table name as a varchar. And so instead of writing the whole query, so if you pass that table name, so the whole query will execute and we'll get the result set. So like that we can minimize the code actually.
Okay. All right. Okay. So okay, there is a task given to you wherein you are given with a set of data from file, okay, from a file suppose, and you are asked to write a SQL to load the data into a table. So it's a file, okay. How do you proceed on? You just go directly and start coding, or you do something before you start the stored proc?
Which file it is?
Sorry? Any file, flat file or Excel file.
Okay.
Flat file. Suppose take it as a flat file.
Okay. So if you have given a file, so what approach I'll follow to load the data into a table, correct?
Correct. I mean, what do you do generally? Like whenever there is some source given to you.
So what I'll check
how
is,
do you go?
yeah, what I'll check is definitely I'll check the file format actually. So how it is exactly. So whether all the columns are there, whether something has been missing, or whether it is comma separated or Excel. I'll check basically the basic things. So whether I can able to load this particular file properly or not. Sometimes so there might be headers, in between that there might be rows. So we need to eliminate that actually. So if the file format is perfect, so in the SQL query we can able to load it. By using the bulk insert we can able to load CSV files, text files, and by using the open row set, so we can able to read the Excel files. It depends on the versions and all.
Okay. Okay. So okay, for temporary data storage, we have certain things, right? We have hash tables, we have CTEs.
Yes.
That we use, right?
Yes.
How different are they? Like when do you go for CTE, when do you go for hash tables, and when do you go for
table variable, right?
Tables, yeah.
Yeah.
CTEs, yeah.
See, temporary tables is nothing but, so like if there is a large amount of data, so then we'll go for temporary table. Less amount of data, table variable. And apart from that, so compared to these two things, I will be preferably going to my city, because so in temporary table and table variable, my destination always will be at MDB. Okay. So what will happen means, so whenever we are inserting the data into a temporary table, so it will create a execution plan. So it will use the statistics as well. So depends on the data size, my plan will change. But in a table variable, so let's say there are 1,000 rows. So what system will do is it will create an execution plan based upon a single row. Okay. So it's very less
In the
amount of
table variable?
table variable.
But you said the execution plan would be, it would be like temp table and table variable both will save the data in temp DB and execution plan will be created for those, right?
No. What I'm saying is, so temporary table will save the data in temp DB basically. Okay. So and it will the scope of the temporary table will exist till that execution. If you close that session, automatically it will drop. Okay. So table variable scope will be exist till that execution, not the session, till that execution. If you execute it, so automatically it will drop. Okay, so it won't use any statistics, and it will create the execution plan based upon a single row. Even though there are 1 lakh records, so it will create an execution plan based upon the one row. So if there are number of processors are there, so if there are free also, it will use only one processor to process the 1 lakh rows. So it will be a performance issue, and also it won't use the statistics. So that so definitely it will degrade the performance. And compared coming to
which one will degrade the performance?
So
table, is it?
Table variable whenever there is a large amount of data.
Okay.
If large amount of data, so it's better to go with temporary table. If less amount of data, it's better to go with table variable. And I can say there is one column with some 100 rows, 200 rows, or 5 columns with 100, 200 rows, something like that. Depends on the situation. But I used to prefer only temporary table. So anytime actually. And coming to CTE, so it will basically store the data in a memory. And on top of that, so it will execute. So it will be always fast compared to your temporary table and the table variable. It's a temporary result set basically. And if you perform any DML operations on CTE, automatically your table will get effect.
Okay. So have you worked on data warehousing anytime, like you have created any, dimensions packs?
See, basically we are storing in normal tables. There are some other projects which they are using the data, means storing it in dimension facts and creating the cubes and all. So I didn't get a chance to work on that actually. I'm much interested to work on that. So, but I didn't.
You know about the schemas. What type of schema are you using in your project?
So it depends on, we have so many clients actually. Depends on the client. So we used to create the schemas and we use.
No, the schema in the sense Snowflake or Star, the database schema.
So we are using a Snowflake schema.
Snowflake?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know anything about data profiling?
There is an option, but I don't have idea. I don't have experience on that.
Okay, no issues. Data mining?
No.
Okay. No. All right. So SSIS, you have you're knowledgeable, right?
Yes, I am knowledgeable. Yes.
Okay. Okay. So, do you know anything about windowing functions in SQL?
Windows function, right?
Windows functions, yeah.
Yeah, ranking functions. Row number, rank, entile. Do you want me to explain?
So if you have to calculate the running total for like last 3 days, how do you do it?
Select sum of that particular, let's say value or salary over order by that particular column ascending.
Okay. So it would give for the last 30 days, right?
Yes. Yes.
For the
Yes.
sum,
Yes.
it
Yes.
can be the average also, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, sir. I think I'm good. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot for your time.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks
Have
for
a
your
good.
time as well. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah.